Even Egyptian songs. Even really, there is a guy called Ahmed Miki. I love him so much. He is an actor, he is a singer. Even in his songs, he's telling us what? Don't forget the legs day. Really. Okay? I never play legs. I never ever. I have a special case, and I have also I was a championship one day like you guys, but in swimming and handball. Alhamdulillah. Now, as you know, I'm just training, maintaining myself, maintaining my body, maintaining my health. Anyhow, so previously I have a big problem in my knees. Even I can't go upstairs. I can't walk. I can't run with my kids. I can't play football, anything. I went to a lot of doctors anyhow, no result at the end. But alhamdulillah, slowly, I tried to run, slight run. Even here, I tried running first 1 or 2 months, but always I'm making creams. All to here, I'm afraid of weight, I'm afraid of iron, I'm afraid of all of this. Now I'm swimming. This is enough for me as a special case, or anyone like me have a problem in knees, in any ankles, or better to play legs. Don't forget legs day in a proper way. And this, what I'm doing now, is enough for me to stop playing legs, or I have to also?
Leg day. Let's say, for instance, without the problems, if you don't have any injuries with your legs, the best motivation that I can give you to do legs is not to actually go balls to the walls trying to break them at your first session or second session. You have to enjoy it at first. Know what you're doing. Let's say, for instance, if you're doing leg press, you've seen so many videos on the internet of people pushing tons or pushing kilograms. You don't have to be that guy. You can start with 120 each side, maybe do 10 reps. You see, that was a little bit easy. Don't put more weight. Now from 10 you go to 15, from 15 you go to 20. After 20 you go to 25, then you finish. Then you go move on to the next workout. That will be enough for you to consider a leg day, doing it properly. And then obviously, in your case where you actually have an injury on your knee and you can't even walk up the stairs, you can't previously. 100%. But if, let's say, for instance, somebody has an injury or what's or not, doctors will definitely be not the one to help you. They would all tell you the same thing, but I think also most would recommend training or exercise. Now you're thinking, oh no, but I see all these guys pushing all these weights with this leg day. This is what leg day is about. So what does my doctor actually mean by doing leg day? So you call this rehabilitation work. I think Blakey can actually elaborate more about this one.
So yeah, Mark's onto a good point there. So obviously, you know, with regards to leg day, people see leg day as this death sentence, you know, that you got to go in there and you got to walk out crippled. That's more for bodybuilders, guys obviously looking to expand the growth on their legs, size and strength in their legs. But for the normal person, you know, legs day doesn't have to be that intense. You know, you've got to look at it like Mike said, you know, lighter weight, more volume. You know what I mean? So not load. You don't want to be focusing on load. What your doctor means by saying, you know, be careful with legs or don't train legs, whatever, it's don't go in there and put 200 kilos on and try to do 2 reps. You know what I mean? That's pointless. That's not what you're there for. You want to do, like Mark said, put 2 20s, and if the reps are easy, then do 20 reps. Do 4 sets of nice 20 reps. You're just focusing on stimulating the muscle. The muscle just wants to be stimulated and worked. And then, you know, do leg extensions, light leg extensions, do high volume, you know, high volume of repetitions, just to stimulate numbers. Yes, numbers. Not weight. You know, with numbers you get just the amount of stimulation for your legs, sometimes even better. Sometimes me and Mike don't even do heavy weight. We just do numbers. We do like 300-400 reps. And sometimes we do 300-400 reps. You can end up with a worse leg day afterwards experience where you can't walk for 3 days, you know. So sometimes we do like 1,000 squats.
This is
lightweight, yeah. So we'll do like 1,000 squats with just the bar.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And 1,000 each, yes. And then you struggle to walk for a week, you know, and that's just with lightweight. So, but then obviously in cases when you've got injuries, then you should, you know, alleviate and not look at running because there's a lot of impact on the knees, a lot of impact, continuous impact. So you want to look at maybe the elliptical or incline walking, you know, and then focus on body weight movement, just body weight lunges, body weight squats, box step ups. Box step ups is a full quad activation. It's from hammy, glute, quad, calf, that's a full leg activation. So you can focus on just doing 4 sets of air squats with 4 sets of walking lunges, 4 sets of box step ups. That's enough stimulation for your legs to obviously grow and continue to grow and develop stimulation and shape in your legs. I mean, body weight movements are some of the best movements that you can do for obviously developing muscle, developing body weight strength, you know, normal pull-ups, push-ups. Those are some of your best compound movements to do, you know. So I think I think people just think that you need to come into the gym and push as heavy as possible, and that's a myth. That's not what you need to do. You know, you need to focus on your volume and load days. For the normal bodybuilder and for the normal gym goer, just focus on volume.
Current situation, I'm asking a lot of people, so mostly of them is telling me, if you need, as an example, to increase your bench muscle, increase weight.
Yes.
So in this case, your bench will be with a lot of things like nutrition, sleeping, all of these things. So only weight, who is the thing that maximize the volume of the muscle, not the numbers, weight. So I should increase my weight.
100%, especially when it comes to the chest, I think, Blakey. So in regards to the chest, yes. In regards to the back, yes. In regards to the legs, yes. So that is the 3 big parts of a human body that needs a lot of stress to make it actually grow in size. Okay. But I don't want you, so let's say for instance you are bench pressing dumbbells right now and your max heavy weight is 15. That 15, which is your max weight, would be enough to stimulate the growth of your chest. It's not a particular weight that you need to push.
For the time being, but
later on you should increase, but by step. If you get 15s, then you go 17.5. Stay on the 17.5 for at least 2 weeks. After that one, go a little bit heavier. Then you push the 20s, then 22.5, and that's like ladder climbing. With any muscle, you have to climb the ladder. Don't jump the gun, because then you won't have that mind to muscle control as when you had with the actual lighter weights, and you will not stimulate the chest. You will overwork your front delts and you would overwork your triceps, but the chest will actually do nothing.
Mark is completely right on that. So I literally also agree with him totally on that. And with regards to muscle development, you know, obviously load plays a role with obviously getting load repetition, because obviously that tears the muscle fibers for it to regrow and to expand. But obviously volume work as well allows for a lot more blood to be pumped into that muscle. So that obviously helps with shaping the muscle, developing it. So if you're not looking for too much of a huge chest, but I mean, if you put a lot of repetitions in, you can sculpt your chest and get a nice line down the chest, a V tape on the bottom. So you can develop your chest through high volume of repetition, and visually when you look, you'll look like you've got a better chest, is because it's defined. So a lot of repetition defines the chest a lot more. A lot of load gets the chest to pop up a bit more. So, you know, so load and volume play key roles with each other. So you have to work on focusing on both. 1 week load, 1 week volume. So your volume defines the chest to get your muscle fibers to look good, to define the chest, to get sculpting in the abs, the back, to obviously bring out the proportions and to bring out the sculpting in the areas. And your load work helps with the thickness to get the muscle to pop more. So they both play key hand-in-hand roles with each other. You don't want to be doing load all the time, is because you're just going to end up breaking yourself and you'll end up with injuries, sore elbows, sore chest, joint problems. So volume work helps stimulate the muscle and also helps with recovery. So sometimes what we like to focus on doing is our first 2 exercises will be super extremely heavy weight, and obviously to get the muscle pumped, to tear the fibers, get everything, and then the next 3 or 4 exercises will be just medium weight, high repetition, to get the blood flow back into the muscle with some stretches. So and that's stretching.
Technically, you want to tear the muscle up and then fill it with blood. See the explanation what I'm giving? You're tearing the muscle up and fill it with blood. So that's heavy load for your first 2 sets, and then obviously going to lighter weights and push as many reps as you can to get the blood flowing. And that's how you will actually execute a bigger chest.
and very accurate, and you studied a lot of things regarding these fantastic replies, mashallah.
To be very honest, we didn't study this. This is from years of experience. I mean, I've played sports since I was 6 years old. I've played semi-professional football. I did sprinting colours for my school for essays. I played professional rugby for my school for essays. I played professional rugby. We've done professional bodybuilding, did professional CrossFit. So it's over the years. I literally only did my studies now recently. And obviously when I went and studied, I was looking at some of the questions and some of the stuff, and I was like, please tell me that someone didn't go and study this and went to go and try train someone, because the studies are really good. It gives you some good background knowledge and stuff. But if you do not have practical knowledge on how experience, and experience in anything is key. And that's in the corporate world. If you have experience in sales, you're going to be better than someone that's just come out of studies. Experience plays the role in everything. I mean, I had some of my clients back in SA that they were physiotherapists, biokineticists. They had clients that had problems. They were coming to me. I was going to go train them, personal training. They were asking me, how can they fix their clients? Is because their experience didn't have enough experience to sort their own clients out, so they were never in that field. I mean, I've had more injuries in my life through sports than I can possibly begin to sit here and explain to you, and how I've got through them has given me a lot more knowledge to help people going forward. And like we were saying about doctors, I think if I had taken off every single time a doctor had told me not to train, I would probably be about this skinny.
You feel language is a difficult here with clients or management, or your, especially that you are new in Kuwait. You are not so long like us, the existing people. You're in complete even 6 months still now, I think, in Kuwait. So I feel, of course,
Actually have clients that actually speaks almost zero English, can understand anything except numbers. And I think when it comes down to training, all you have to know is the numbers. So if I would tell him, okay, so we're going to do 20 repetitions of this one, I actually just show my fingers like this, and he would be like, 20? I'm like, 20, yalla, good. And then he would do 20 repetitions. But obviously when it comes down to personal training, it's not that difficult, because we will show how to execute the exercise firsthand, and then they would go and they would try the exact same thing and mimic the movement, and then we will correct their elbows, we will correct them, we will put them in the position that they need to be. So the language barrier is not the problem in the workplace. But outside, I think I don't have any experience just talking to people who can only speak Arabic. I think there's a lot of people, like maybe 80%, who can actually have an understanding of English words as well. And I have actually also, how can I say, worked on my vocabulary for Arabic. I know how to say hi, I know how to say bye, I know how to say thank you. Salam alaikum, alaikum salam, shlonik, zain. So there's a few Arabic words that we try to study and understand, but obviously it's just the basic words of appreciation and how to greet someone in their own language. And I think they feel also a little bit of appreciation coming from us who is expats. You understand what I'm saying?
100% right. I think it was just obviously in the beginning just to try to figure out the basics, just the basics on how to just obviously start the basics with salam alaikum, just that, and alhamdulillah, and just the basics, just alhamdulillah, yeah, just to communicate the basics to the clients. And obviously once we figured that out, it made it a little bit more easy to obviously just to connect with the clients. But like Mark said, it's personal training, it's not too much communication, it's more physical, it's more of a visual aspect. So where we can say to the client, like Mark says, sign language 20, and then we go first and we explain to them, show them the movement, show them how we would do it firstly, and how we want to contract, then keep the elbows in. So for you to see visually how we do it firstly, and then when they climb in and once they do their movements, like Mark says, we can correct them in the movements to contract, and then you can also feel in the muscles where if they're contracting properly with the movement standards. So then we can say to them, are you feeling it here, pointing, the contraction interaction. It's I don't think the communication barrier is much of an issue, because obviously I've got 1 or 2 clients that don't speak too much English either. But I mean, I don't think we've had any issues, and they've loved their experience and they've loved their training. So, and we've managed to hit those muscle groups perfectly. So I think on a whole, that hasn't been much of an issue. Yeah, so it's been very good. I mean, even outside of the gym, nothing so much. I think as me and Mike go, nothing so much. I think as me and Mike go along, we'll keep practicing our Arabic so we can get. It's quite a tough language to learn, but I think once we get a lot more better with the basics, it'll start to flow a lot more. So looking forward to that. I'm very interested to learn as much as I can and become better at Arabic. Yeah, definitely.
Who is your idol bodybuilder?
It has to be the 5-time classic physique champion, which is Chris Bumstead. He's not just a leader in the bodybuilding world, he's a leader in the fitness world when it comes to humbleness, when it comes to kindness, when it comes to giving back. I think he is a champion in regards of everything that he does. His life, when he's even promoting his life, like in general, his girlfriend, he is also involving her into that is not just him that is the champion. It's like a whole team of effort putting him on that pedestal, and I think that he would definitely be my number 1 pick.
It's a no-brainer. Like Chris Bumstead he's just amazing. Like Mike said, the humbleness is what gets me. You know what I mean? There's no arrogance to the guy whatsoever. He's really humble about what he does. He's very family orientated, very good with his family, with his girlfriend, obviously looking to start kids soon. You know what I mean? And he's just a downright genuine guy, and he's open to help people. And, a lot of his blogs and a lot of his videos are very informative and very chilled and relaxed. But just to step off there, I'd have to say it would be Arnie. Just Arnie, very close. He's just the old school OG. So
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, so good old Arnie. I mean, I remember watching movie before I even knew about Olympia. Like when I was young and I saw Conan the Barbarian. Man, there was the one scene where he's lifting up this door and he's picking up the door and this back shot. I was like, "What? Check it out!" I mean, I must have watched that. I must have rewinded and paused that scene like 100 times. I watched that movie just for that part, and I was like, I gotta look like that one day. Almost there. A little bit. So I think he was what led me into wanting to be big and just wanting to be fit and wanting to be strong and take my life towards that direction. But as a new generation, I think Chris Bumstead is the new Arnold. Definitely.
What is the typical practice should I do in the same day if I'm training 5 days a week or 4 days a week? What is your recommendation?
Over this to Blake, because we actually changed the program as well. Remember when we said to you that we are on the same training regime? We executed only 1 muscle group per day, but now later stadium we decided to give it like a different approach.
So me and Mike have been focusing on 1 muscle group per day to obviously try and maximize the intensity of that muscle. So we'd just focus on chest on one day, back on another day, shoulders the next day, arms, and then legs, and then we'd have a day off. So we would try to focus on the maximum intensity on that specific body part to try overload it and to work it to its maximum. But then obviously, we had some shortfalls where there's certain areas that we wanted to try obviously develop a lot more. So now we've gone to where we do 3 muscle groups, 3 days, so twice a week. So we'll do shoulders and chest on the same day, shoulder and chest one day, and then we'll do back and arms another day, and then we'll do legs completely separate on another day, and then we repeat that. So that's 6 days. By and try arms is on with back. Yeah, so back and arms.
Try shoulder one day.
No.
Bicep, tricep, and back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Then shoulder, chest, second day, and legs
third day, and then repeat, and then have 1 day off. Yeah. So because if you think about it, there's 58 weeks, 58 weeks in 1 year. So if you're only doing 1 muscle group a day, you're only working that muscle 58 times a week.
Yes.
58 times a year, sorry.
58 times a year.
So now if we change the routine, you're doubling up. So if you think about it, you only train one muscle group 58 times in a year. That's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
It's not a lot. So now if you change it to this routine, you're doing it 100 and 108. What is it?
Double up.
Double up, yeah.
118.
118, yeah. So 118.
I'm just lifting one arm.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we've changed to now. So now we're doubling up on the muscle groups.